let you in on an aspect of the world that you're not normally accustomed to.
I could have been a totally different person.
Yeah, right now.
Since 12 hours ago.
Could have been wearing a business suit today. Who knows?
With a fanny pack.
With a fanny pack. Just classing up the joint.
That's a fantastic idea.
It's the only kind of ideas I had, sir.
It's Corner House Chronicles Day.
It's just different enough.
And here's the kicker, boss. They're all the same personality.
They're assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 1.5 million asshole penguins.
Best part.
I'm going to try and pace it out, so just as you forget about me, I'll just pop in and remind you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh. Smoke them if you got them.
Hello, 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 everyone. Once again, it's the Corner House Chronicles. I'm John.
I'm Jason.
And with us this evening, the one, the only.
Stephen Biondo. He's here joining us for episode 49.
Physically, we're going to find out if
Spiritually,
mentally
we don't
he's
know.
here. Holy shit. What was that about? That one's empty. You're going to have to pack the new one. Yep. Price
this
to pay.
work.
Oh, nope. There you go.
Wait a minute. Actually, I quit smoking roughly about 2-3 months ago.
Oh, yeah?
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm sorry you're going to sit in this room filled with cigarette smoke for the next hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, it's okay. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Well, that's good because it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So you finally made it over here.
Yeah, so I finally made it over here, and
So I'm going to tell you a story. Almost a year ago, me and Aaron had a conversation about finally starting a podcast. He's been busting my ass for years and years and years, right? Finally, I give in and we decide this. You were like one of the first people that I was like, we got to get Steve over here to sit down and tell us some stories, right? Because you've had quite the life. So I've asked you a bunch of times and, never worked out.
Life.
But finally, here you are, 49, well, not weeks, episodes later.
Yeah.
do you do this every month or every other week?
Every
week?
Sunday.
Every Sunday night we record. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been fun.
Far. Now, where's Aaron?
Aaron
He's
had
at
this,
work.
Yeah, Aaron works on weekends, and
He's more the behind the scenes.
he's our technical
Yeah.
layer of the podcast right now,
Networking, marketing,
making all the moves for us.
more the business aspect of the.
Hi, Aaron.
Right. He's gotten
Long time no
rather
see.
good at it, that's for sure.
He's listening, going, "Hi, Steve."
Mm-hmm. He will be over here in about a month to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, which is a pretty
Wow,
cool
man.
thing,
That is cool.
And right after we decided to do this, we named it, and then I hit you up, and I was like, bro, we need a logo. What do you think? 10 minutes, you had something for us.
Bam.
And then took you a little while to, get the details worked up and get everything finalized, but we've been using that logo for a year, man.
Oh, it looks good up there.
Yeah. We appreciate it. We have a new logo
We do.
that Jay designed for us. I don't know if you've seen it on social media yet. It's pretty sweet. It's got
I have seen it, yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now we got multiple logos to throw out to the world. So it's pretty cool. It's like a new step in the show.
Maybe you need a anniversary shirt.
We're working on that. Yeah, we got a couple ideas right now. We were thinking about trying to make us into Funko Pops. The little characters,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to one of your podcasts about that.
Yeah. We take a picture every week with the beer that we drink and stuff. It's pretty cool. We'd like to get ourselves made into
who's
a
that
Funko.
up there?
Oh, that's the 45th president still in his box, Mr.
Oh.
Donald J. Trump. It's the only one still in its box. All the other Funkos come out, but that one, I couldn't do it. I was like, nah, man, we got to keep that one.
I still have a Hillary bobblehead in the box.
Oh, really?
The go to jail one.
Oh.
I mean, it was a gift. I didn't want it. Like, it was sent to me randomly. I don't know.
It appeared on my doorstep.
Right,
and
just
I felt
hasn't
bad
been
for it.
lit on fire.
I think I
yet.
liked it on Facebook and they knew I wanted it and they sent it to me.
Right, they were watching.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny,
So now that you have been a tattoo artist for, what's it been, 5 years?
8 years now.
8 years?
Yeah.
Holy
Hey, you're only
shit.
3 off. That's pretty good.
2011. Yeah. It's been a while.
Fuck, yeah.
Did some of my first early work on you.
I'm living proof, man. I'm like
Yeah.
your portfolio over the years. I still get compliments on the portrait of Hank Williams Jr. all the time.
I got a portrait on my leg, too.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's, let me first,
Can you guess what? Have I told you what it is? Have you seen it?
No, I don't.
How long ago did you get it?
Oh shit!
Has it been a while?
5 years?
5
Oh,
years. I'm
maybe
looking for a time
Maybe,
frame.
maybe 4 years? No, I don't know.
So,
5? No, it was like
2000
6 years ago, probably.
Honestly, I don't pay that much attention to your legs, so
right, well.
you know.
I thought you would.
I'm gonna guess Don Johnson,
Ooh.
the Duke.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
I mean, his eyes are a little, maybe the Duke, his handicapped brother. I don't know. I don't know if I can say that. Can I say?
Yeah, you said it. It's cool.
It's on there.
Well,
That's
it's
what it
already
looks like.
there.
I mean, shit.
That's why I don't like doing these things,
Why?
because things I say are out there.
Yeah, but it's not. It ain't nothing bad, man. You'll be all right. Everybody feels the same way that sits in that seat. We felt the same way when we first started doing this too.
You feel weird,
Yeah.
especially when you hear
What's
the
the big
episode and
deal?
you're like, "Oh, that's me talking."
Right.
That's neat. So
Yeah,
I
I
ask
know.
this to every tattoo artist I ever meet, and I assume they get this question extremely often.
Mm-hmm.
But you have not heard it from me.
Mhm.
Out of all your tattoos, what is the most memorable?
Oh shit!
One that
You
just
know-
sticks out in your mind like this motherfucker.
No names.
No names.
Actually, I can say the most memorable one was my first one.
Yeah.
which was on one of my friends, and she let me do like cutlery on her. It was like a fork and a knife or something, and it took me so damn long. It was so long. I swear, I can't believe I got through it. But it came out all right. I never practiced on any like fake skin or anything.
No pumpkins or nothing like
gourds or
that?
nothing.
No?
No.
Just jumped right in.
Yeah, I did. This is a tattoo that came in when I was working at Baby Dolls. It was a shark that looked like a penis. And I don't know. I'm not gonna say who did the tattoo. He's a good tattoo artist, but he wouldn't fix it. I guess this is what the client said. I don't know I wasn't there for the conversation. Clients always, make the artist sound like they're assholes. So
Especially if they don't like the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They're coming to you with a problem. Yeah.
yeah, he more than
That
likely
damn
wasn't this big of an
artist,
asshole about it.
Right.
But he came in to get it fixed. But it did look like a penis, and that was pretty memorable.
So you had to cover it?
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
rework it. Yeah,
Did it turn out all right? I'm sure I saw the
yeah.
picture online. You share a lot of your
it
stuff
did.
on your.
I didn't post it because
Oh,
the
no.
artist who did it is friends. God,
No, it's
see,
cool.
It's friends with me on Facebook.
That's fine.
And I didn't want to,
Step on toes.
yeah,
right,
you
right.
know, whatever,
Hey,
Clear-
shit happens.
Clearly, the kid wasn't going to go back there. He made that
Yeah.
perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Have you ever turned down someone? They're like, "Oh, I want to get this," and you're like, "Probably not for me."
yeah. Sometimes I'll pawn them off on, the other artists that I work with. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I can't really complain. I like my job, even if it's something that is not like something that is original or something. It's still better than I don't know, shipping or receiving or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a cubicle.
Yeah, working for somebody.
You
Set
talked
a cue
you talked me into changing one of my tattoos. I wanted to get that gremlin, like the full body when he was flashing with the coat, and you were like, "Dude, you're gonna
Yeah.
lose so much detail unless you make it 9 foot long," And I'm like, "All right, cool." So we just went with the face,
Yeah, I like
and there's
that.
no outline to it. It's a cool tattoo. I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig all
that-
of them personally.
That was a
but-
really fun tattoo.
yeah.
Yeah, when I think about it, man, I got a lot of tattoos that I've done that are a lot of fun. It's just you end up doing so many tattoos, and then it takes like a conversation to think about, just like us talking about that right now.
Right.
To think back about it, you know what I mean? Because if you're constantly doing tattoos, you try to go back in your memory and try to think about, which ones are my favorite ones? I don't know. I got a lot of favorite ones, But some of my favorite ones are things that are, something off the wall like that where you don't get them a lot. You're
Something that means really like
More personal.
yeah. Or
Well,
maybe it don't even have to be
something
personal.
that's just more fun. You know what I mean? Where it takes a little bit of
like Dale Gribble.
yeah. Obviously, I wouldn't say a strong point of mine would be lettering, but I do lettering all the time. But something that's custom to is fun. I used to like to do a lot of new school stuff, but I noticed recently a lot of people aren't really getting that much new school.
It seems like they're
At
going
least
back to
around here.
traditional.
A lot of traditional, yeah.
Now, are you allowed to talk about the party that you went out west for because of tattooing, or no? Because you never. I remember
it wasn't
you
for
went.
I can talk about it. It wasn't for tattooing them.
Oh, I thought
It
that's
was
why you
actually
went.
Music related, kind of.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it was-
All right.
I couldn't.
all right.
I couldn't talk about it because at the time that I was about to go out there, the person I got the job from said since there was nothing out about it, that there could be nothing posted about it.
Right.
So I couldn't really talk about it. But it was Fortnite. I'm not into games a lot, but I know Fortnite's huge.
Oh yeah.
It was an event
Yeah.
for Fortnite,
Okay.
and it was out in the Coliseum in L.A. And I think it was an invite only.
Like a gaming tournament or something.
No,
Oh.
there were some performances. Drake played, and I think Logic played. I didn't end up staying for it.
Oh, okay.
I ended up going out there, working for like a day, like an asshole, and then just going out there for vacation. So yeah, but
The pictures of the vacation were all over the internet.
Oh, yeah, I had a blast, man. I had a blast. Well, to not go into too much detail, things didn't work out to be what I thought they're going to be. So
It happens.
I just kind of like, it ain't really.
You're like, fucking, I'm already out
It's
here,
not
right?
really worth it,
Right.
and I'd rather take this time to enjoy myself.
Hang out with some friends that you know out there, and
And half of me-
sightsee.
half of my mindset was already there anyway. When you get out there and you're leaving Michigan, you're like, wait a minute, I'm coming here to work. I don't want to work, really.
No.
And then when you're working 16-hour shifts and you're like, well, shit, man, I don't think 16 hours. I don't want to come out here to take up all my time working. But other than that, just some things didn't work out, and it's not a big deal. The person that I got the job through, they're my friend, and a really close friend of mine, actually. And, I had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah. It's like, I know you've been on tour. That must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Dude, I never done it, so I like hearing stories like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a blast, man. It was before, it was back when the flip phones were out, It was, fucking
Like
forever
Nextels
ago.
and shit, were you chirping people on the Nextel?
Yeah.
Courtesy beat.
Sidekick was a new thing.
There you
Everybody's
go.
flicking around their phone and shit. Like, damn it. It's like the...
Who was the most famous person you met, like through music?
Well, obviously Katy Perry, probably.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Which she wasn't hardly anything back then, right? She had one
No.
single out that everybody
I didn't know who
knew,
she was when I
right?
started working for her. You know what I mean? I was just like, hell yeah, I'm going to get paid for being out on tour. Okay.
Right.
Done.
I was already out.
No-brainer.
Right. I was already out on tour with
So what
Everyday
tour?
Tragedy. And,
Yeah.
What tour was it that you were on?
The first one was a couple months long, and it was the Crunk Energy Drink Tour. And the band that I went out with was Everyday Tragedy. They're out of Orange County. But it was one of my friends, Jeff. He was in a band out here with me that I sang for. And he went out to Orange County to start this band with another guy, Greg, who's a singer. And when they decided to go on tour, they needed a second guitar player and somebody could sing a backup vocals. So he asked me. And
Enter Steve.
yeah, he was like, I don't know, you have to be gone for a long time. You're talking about like
6
4
to 8
months.
months. Oh, 4?
Four
Yeah,
months,
that's
you
still
know.
a long time.
Yeah, I had to quit my job. At the time I was.
I bet you were
working, driving
heartbroken.
I
around.
know, right? Shocker.
Hell no. I was like,
Walk in that day, be like, "Fuck you, I'm out."
right. Well, that my job was really cool about it. They were like, well, when you come back, you got a job and shit. But my plans
cool.
were I wasn't gonna come.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
wasn't gonna come back.
This was
really,
it, you know.
Yeah, air
Especially
quotes,
after I
when I
really
come
got out
back.
there and I was like, having a good time. But the first 2 months was the Crunk Energy Drink Tour, and I just remember thinking, like, oh my God, we had no money. I mean, no money. We're literally eating like peanut butter and like cereal sandwiches and
Dry ramen noodles.
trying to sell like oh my God, like I got in a fight with our tour manager Shane over a burger at Burger King. He was mad that I had money to buy one or some shit. I can't remember what it was. Shane, if you're listening, which you're probably not, forget I said that because I don't fucking remember. That was 100 years ago. I can't really remember. But there was a fight, and it involved us somewhat leaning over the counter, and I remember the workers just thinking, I swear they were probably... I don't know what they were thinking, but we looked ridiculous. We were arguing over a cheeseburger or some shit. So it was pretty bad.
Too
But I
bad
remember-
camera phones weren't a big thing,
Oh my
right?
God, yes. And I remember just thinking right around that time, like, why the fuck am I out here? I was so irritated about shit. You know what I mean? And then it just started. I got used to it. Took me a couple weeks to get into it and get in the groove. And my thinking was, at least I'll know if I go out there and I hate it, that it's just not the life for me. You know what I mean? But I ended up liking it a lot, man. And then we did 2 weeks with the Warped Tour. That was 2008. A very long time ago.
A decade.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's when I started to work for Katie because
You
at
needed
the
money.
time, yeah.
I
But
like
at the
cheeseburgers.
Right.
The funny thing is I was told when we went out that we were possibly doing the Warped Tour. I didn't know the details, so I was like, hell yeah, cool, man. And we started following the Warped Tour. We weren't necessarily on the Warped Tour, and we had to finagle our way into it. We did, and we followed the shit out of the Warped Tour.
Right.
Broke as shit, like making all our money off selling our CDs. I mean, I don't know who's listening to this, but we were selling bottled water outside the line. I know it's not really right, but when you're out there trying to just survive, you get pretty desperate. You start fighting over cheeseburgers and shit like that. But our tour manager, he had a pass for the Warped Tour, and he had seen that they were looking for a guitar tech for Katie, and he said that he's seen a bulletin about how they needed a guitar tech, and he told me, "Hey man, go do it, go try." Had the interview, and
Had to be cool, man.
Well-
So it had to be fucking cool.
but the first show,
you know?
oh my God, the first show I worked. I don't know if I ever told you about it. Did I tell you about the first show I worked with them?
Maybe not. You're gonna now.
So I was
Years ago.
All right, dude, 10 years.
So I'm sitting in our van, exhausted as shit because the Warped Tour, you're out in the sun all fucking day, and I'm thinking by this time I'm not getting this job working for Katie because it had been a few days and I didn't hear about nothing, and I get the call. Julia's like, was her manager. It's like, do you still want the job? I'm like, yeah, definitely. Like, okay, we'll be at the stage in 15 minutes. I'm like, what the I didn't know none of their equipment. I didn't know I didn't know the set. I didn't know none of the music.
So it was just tune.
So I
tune
go
the
there.
guitars and hope.
Jump in and swim.
Oh my God, it was pretty stressful. So Shane, who was our tour manager, came with me, and he's by the side of the stage. And so one of the first songs she plays, she has an acoustic, and it had a DI box. She was supposed to go direct in. I didn't know how her setup was. She's sitting here strumming this guitar. It's not even plugged into anything.
Oh.
And I'm looking at Shane like, what the? He's like, just stay up there. Just stay up there.
Deer in headlights, bro.
So, long story short, after the nightmare was over, I get done and I'm just like feeling like shit. Well, I definitely think I don't have the job. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm fucked.
That was your interview.
And they ended up all apologizing to me, and they said the next morning that they would go through all their equipment and tell me how they set up and everything. And from there, I just continued to work for her.
Was she a cool person back then? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to say what she is now because
Yeah.
who knows now, but
I thought she was really cool. It was like one of those things where after I came back here to Michigan, she was pretty popular by then, and all my friends, nobody liked her. Nobody was like, yeah, man, the new Katy Perry, she's fucking killer, dude. Did you have a blast, bro? No, it was one of those things that would be like, oh, you work for Katy? Oh, fucking stupid. But no, I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was fucking kick ass, dude.
And she's a good songwriter. She sings good, and she's funny, and she was nice to me. I mean,
You were the help.
I'm sure now, right? I'm sure now. She's a lot bigger now, and she probably, I think the
Been through 100 guitar techs. Get out of here.
oh yeah, by now, fuck man.
How do you interview to be a guitar tech? What is that process?
That's
Like,
funny because they don't really like.
I picture Wayne's World 2 when they keep dropping, like pulling the,
The
mic
mic
stand
and
down,
throwing-
and you got to run out, and they're throwing tennis balls at you and shit. Was it like that? You had to like tune
no,
the guitar.
you
get
know,
roadie
training.
all it was, hey, is this person cool? Yeah, they seem cool. They can play guitar. Okay, they can play whatever. Okay, this should be cool. They just really, all you got to do is you got to know the right people and get along with them.
There you go.
And if they think they can get along, I had when I was done with the tour, the guitar player from Candlebox was shadowing me for my position, and I remember.
The guitar player for Candlebox
Yeah.
was going to be the guitar tech
Yeah.
for Katy
Yeah,
Perry.
he was
okay.
shadowing me to see how they.
How they set
How
up,
they
how
set
they
up and
operate.
everything. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. The
Yeah.
stuff you didn't get
Yeah.
15 minutes before day
Yeah.
one.
they weren't
Gotcha.
throwing him in 15
Gotcha.
minutes. Yeah.
Well, Katie got back on the bus and she's like, "Steph, I don't want you to go. I don't want. This guy's weird. He creeps me out." And so I don't think he ended up working for her, but it was funny to think that here's this guy from Candlebox. I remember just being younger and watching their videos and shit. And this guy's
It's Candlebox, man. I mean, that was like early 90s. Like the whole 90s, basically. They were part of that grunge movement, you know?
mid
Shit.
'90s. Talking about that time like it was like 10 years ago. It was shit.
Almost.
Everything was
yeah.
10 years ago in my
Yeah.
head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Until you
weird,
do
it's
that.
weird
10
how you
years
get
ago.
trapped into
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right? You're like, remember
Uh-huh.
that time about 6 years ago? Like, motherfucker, that was like 12
19
years
Like,
ago.
dude, like 10 years ago when the
Uh-huh.
N64
Yeah.
came out, GoldenEye, you're like, dude, that was
1970s
94.
was only 20 years ago.
Yeah, shit, dude.
I'm still wearing bell bottoms.
Stop living in the past. You stop living in the past.
You must have seen some other cool acts, though, on the Warped Tour. I mean, you had access to it, so I'm sure you crossed paths with a couple
Pat
of cool...
Smear?
Oh,
Met
from
him.
Foo Fighters?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we actually talked for a minute, and he was talking about how Dave Grohl played Katie's guitar. And he'd asked me if I had ever seen it. I didn't see it. You know. But I ended up taking a picture with him. I don't know where it went. You know what I mean? I don't know who took that picture. Or I don't know. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. You know,
On
that
what
was,
disposable
that was
camera
really-
that's on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it was somebody had some camera that I couldn't afford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was back there for a reason. I just don't know what it was for.
He was like,
where
hey,
it
get a
went.
picture, guys.
He
Click.
through the editing of his pictures, by like, who's this? Now pull
Right.
this shit out.
Right. Crop this dude out.
Yeah.
Just give me Pat Smear.
Yeah, maybe my arm's over there. Might see my finger in his ear.
Right.
Giving him wet willy. He liked those kind of things.
Oh.
We talked about it. We went out
Sweet.
for dinner. Had coffee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Obviously,
friends.
he wasn't in the
He
Foo
writes my
Fighters
name
at this time, right?
I think he was.
Oh, was he? He was just
Because he
at
was
Warped
talking
Tour?
about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I mean, they weren't playing.
Right.
Now, yeah, I don't know why he was there. There's a lot of people always
hanging
wandering around back there.
True. I imagine
Yeah.
it's like that.
I was on the low level to where I had to wait till all the
High
band
level
members
people
got their
left.
food. I mean, I got catering, but I was like the dog waiting for the scraps. They were throwing
Right.
crumbs at me. You know, that's
Somebody
how
took
I-
a bite out of this. Do you want
that's
it?
how I met
Yeah.
Pat. He seen me begging, and he threw me like his crust from a sandwich. And I was like, he couldn't.
He's
get
like,
rid
now
of me.
dance.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, you hungry, man? You want some
Amuse
chicken?
me.
Or? That's funny.
I'm sorry, sir. I forgot my cymbals.
Would you
No,
ever?
really, I made it sound like the conversation was hugely long, but it was like 10 minutes. But you know,
Okay. So here's a question for you. Now that you're established tattoo artist, we just discussed this, right? I mean, it's been
Yeah.
almost a decade you've been doing this now. What would you give that up to go out on tour right now?
Give it up. Like I would never like.
No, you can
wouldn't-
always go back to tattooing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, would you
Oh,
would
man.
you just like, "Psh, I'm gone,
quit
I'm
the
gonna
shop
go
and be
tour,
like,
let's go,
"See y'all
let's do
later."
it."
I think it's pretty feasible.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have to be like a huge decision. I'm probably in the best situation to do that now than I was even back when I went.
Yeah.
But
Well, shit, I mean, that knowledge you have in your
Oh,
head
yeah.
of life would make up for that. Shit.
well, I don't know. I still make a lot of terrible choices. I don't know what kind of knowledge I got. But I mean, I'd love to go on tour. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Are you still writing new music?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slowly. Actually, Tim, who was in Bury Your Burden with me, I don't know if you remember him. Do you remember him?
Yeah, absolutely.
We kick ideas back and forth all the time, but the problem that we always have is since one song I'll write will be more like heavier, maybe industrial, and then another song will be like a pop song or something, and nothing really lines up and doesn't sound like one cohesive body of work to call like to call a project.
Yeah,
so
you can't make
an
EP out of it, jumping around like,
Yeah.
I got this polka gig,
It's gonna
dude.
sound like several different bands, you know. I mean, you can.
Maybe
can do
that's
it,
the thing
you know?
to do because
Yeah.
nobody does it.
But there might be a reason nobody does it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, right. There's been a formula for years. I mean, but I mean,
let's deviate from that and get it big.
at this point though, I just write, and then if I get to a point where if I ever finish it, because it takes me forever now to finish songs, I'll write like a whole song, finish what I think lyrically it would be done, and I'll listen to it and I'll hate it. I re-record it so many times that I just get frustrated and leave it and write a new stuff. So I got snippet. Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, you're
We
good.
got snippets of song ideas
All over the place,
all
right?
over my
Right.
computer, man.
Typical artistic thing
yeah.
to do. I mean, it's not, you're not.
But that's a good thing, though, because
Yeah,
later on when
fuck
somebody
yeah.
comes at you with an idea, you're like, wait a minute. And then you whip that out and like, check this out.
That's true, man. That's
I'd
true.
say, dude,
I would-
listen.
That's the whole
I
point
would
of putting it in
shop
the storage.
all of it. Record and shop all of it around. Play it for people.
See,
Throw it out there, dude.
In
Step
my-
out on that limb.
my outlook on
You've
it,
done it
though,
before.
is like the self-promotion ability now
Mhm.
is bigger than trying to shop it. Like,
Well,
you're
that's
out
what I
there
mean by shop.
Like,
Just throw it
I'm gonna
out
try
there.
to get it on Spotify. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm
I mean,
just talking.
no, yeah. The
Yeah.
Throw
most
it out
the
there.
most important thing to me is as far as music now, and me playing it and recording it, is that I used to be really focused on wanting to write music that I enjoy to write, but also mainly, more importantly, that would be appealing. But now I think about it when I write, I just want to write what's fun in the moment, and I think that's why it gets like so mixed up. And
Yeah.
and
the
nothing
randomness of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because one minute I'll feel like I feel like hearing, because ultimately I write what I think I want to hear.
Right.
One minute, man.
You could write a song with
really
the
wanna hear a
influence
pop
of,
song,
of
you know what I mean?
Prince, and then the
Right.
next day you're like, dude, I'm feeling fucking Def Leppard. Let's do some shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then the next day it's something different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Record those ideas, put them out there.
My goal
That's
with
what I think.
the last thing I was working on here, if you want to call it a project or something, and I had played around with it with Tim, was I wanted to have something by around this time to where we could play shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play a show unless there's there's a need to, or there's enough people that'd be interested to see it. But ultimately, I would like to have had something released and been able to have the opportunity to play by now. But life happens and everything gets backed up. And
We ain't dead yet.
behind And, it's
That's what I'm
inevitable.
saying, right?
You know what I mean? It's at a snail's pace right now. But it's
What do you
inevitable
enjoy
because
more, recording or playing live?
Mhm.
The perfectionist in you has to go towards recording, right? Because that's your ability to really put out the best product you can. But the fun
No, I think recording
of the business of it.
Yeah.
This is the thing: is recording is fulfilling, and performing is more where you get the enjoyment of.
More like a adrenaline rush. Or,
Yeah, adrenaline rush.
The
and you
reward
get to,
almost.
and you get to like perform it for people who are going to see it in a different way, and you've done it before. So
Fuck yeah.
I mean, when you're playing live songs that you've written, it's different. When you're recording, you're excited about what you're doing because you love it, and you want people to be as excited as you. So
I
you
was
obviously
the complete opposite. I
What?
hated
Come on.
recording.
Oh, I hate recording.
It was
Don't
the
get me wrong.
worst feeling ever.
The thing
'Cause
is,
they broke it down and like into steps.
It
like,
was
do it
me.
again. Do it again.
Yeah,
Do it
I
again.
had to stand in
Do it
that little
again.
room by myself, and I knew all the other people in the band were on the other side of
Watching
that
you.
glass watching me. And
See,
every little
that's
mistake I
why-
made, they got to focus on it. But when you play live, they cover your mistake.
Yeah.
You know, and the
well, yeah, you're under a
adrenaline
microscope, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody's
I
nitpicking
hated that,
every
right.
little
Right.
note that you. Yeah.
Up until starting this podcast, I didn't want to be under the microscope like that, you know. But then eventually it was like, well, fuck it, we're
Yeah.
here, we're doing it. So, you know, go ahead and pick it apart there, public. You know,
I mean, I'm the same way recording. That's why I like to do a lot of. That's why I got my little setup at home, because I like to do a lot of the stuff at my house and do like pre-production, so I know like if I go in the studio and record something that I'm gonna nail it as. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna nail it in the first take or something, but I'm gonna be so comfortable with it. But if I don't nail it in the first take, it's gonna be within a few takes, because I have gone in the studio and I didn't have a song at that point.
Not
And it's-
prepared and just going in
it's so
blindsided,
stressful.
like,
and then
oh,
it
shit.
and then it affects your performance,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you got
'Cause then you overthink
you got
that
these
shit.
assholes in your head. They're like, these assholes. They're looking at me like, oh, yeah, it's prepared.
Just wasting my time.
Yeah,
I'm a guitar player. I'm really good.
I got out of work early for this shit, bro. Really?
God.
No, band meeting. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, like, a band isn't a job.
those were the
You
worst
know,
two
like,
words ever. Band meeting.
Band-
Oh my god, no.
You know, you're just not pulling your weight.
And you're like,
Everybody
who-
else
who
been
fucked
chipping in
up?
$50 a week.
It was worse with me too, because I had Chris and Luke, and
Yeah.
we're related, and they're brothers. And then Rob, we were such good friends, so it was like band meeting. Like, oh my god, it's got to be something bad, you know? Or
Like, I didn't call it, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Is it about me?
right.
Get in there like, what the fuck, John? And be like, damn, it was me.
My biggest thing was I never wrote lyrics. We had
It's
three
hard to stay-
songs
to solidify
I
'em,
never
yeah.
had lyrics for. It changed every time we played the song.
See, that surprised the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Like, when I asked you, I was like, oh, because you guys talked about maybe doing a show. And I was like, did you remember any of the songs? And you were like, I didn't remember the words then. I
Nope.
just made shit up. And
Yep.
I was like, huh. And
Hey,
I was
you know
like,
what, though?
what song did they always... The Broham tribute they always do, but that wasn't...
Yeah, that wasn't ours. I
Yeah.
knew the words for that one.
So I was like, well,
I've done
shit.
that. I've done that a few times. Gone on stage, and say we really wanted to play a new song, and the guy's like, "Come on, man, just do it.
just play it already.
You should have
dude.
had lyrics written already." You know, and all of a sudden I'm the asshole. You know,
Fine, let's play
But
it. I'll
Susie
fucking
went to the
figure it out.
store and...
and you're just hoping that somebody isn't taking video or something. What did he say there? Rewinding it, playing
yeah.
it. That's like
Two of those songs are on our St. Andrews
really nobody
album.
cares that much. Nobody's ever gonna do that. You know what I mean? But like,
So I'll listen to that track and I'll be like, man, what was I saying, dude?
did I say Scooby Doo snacks? What the fuck
what
was
the
that?
fuck was I even talking about?
Sounded good at the time, man. I don't know.
Yeah. And for me, it was all the adrenaline. Just being on stage in front of people like that.
Oh yeah,
I was terrified.
Man, I love
Terrified. That's why I didn't stand still ever. I was too terrified to stand still. All the time. It was like that Jim Morrison thing. Remember in the movie when he turned around
And not face
and he wouldn't face the
audience?
crowd? I
Yeah.
could totally relate to that. Yeah, I was like, man, this is weird, you know, but you got to do it. You're up there, you know?
Now, all right. I've often wondered, because everyone says it's a huge adrenaline rush and like you just get lost up there. Do you ever just focus in on somebody and like mentally think like, I don't know that guy.
Yep.
That guy looks kind of fucking creepy. Why is he here?
I did it a couple times. Once was at the
While you're
IROC.
trying to like perform, but you're also like inner monologues like, that dude looks like a serial
He just
killer.
don't fit.
I don't know. I remember, when we did Eden, when we play shows, man, there would be times I didn't even remember half of the fucking set. Seriously, I'd be like, there'd be points I'd just stare, like dead gaze at people. I don't remember it. I'm just in my own little fucking world,
Yep.
But then when you start, I think it's also to what kind of energy the music that you're playing is giving off. Because I've done like heavier stuff, and you get lost in a different kind of emotion. Like where if you're playing something that's more like a poppier or something that's a little you're not really. It's not as much of an uncontrollable emotion. You know what I mean? It's like. When you're doing something that like something we were doing when we were younger, a lot more energy than.
Oh, yeah.
It's not pop music; it's heavier stuff, and
Move around.
it just makes you want to move around. Kind of takes you over.
It was fun. I will say I miss it. I wish I could do it again, just even for fun, doing cover songs in a band. That's why I'm jealous. My younger brother now, of all people, is in a cover band, playing all kinds of shows all the fucking time, and I'm like, oh, damn it, we
With
just
people
totally switched fucking roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the hell? I'd like to do it. It'd be cool. I'd like to take a bunch of older songs and jazz them up a little bit, change them slightly enough to where people could know what you're playing and sing along and have a good time in a bar. The more booze people drink, the better we sounded.
I think that's with any band.
Yeah, you get them all liquored up.
Yeah. 4 drink minimum.
I've never,
folks.
I've tried to be in a cover band, and I did a cover band for a minute, enough to learn like 2 sets. They wanted to have 3. I learned like 2 sets, and we did some practicing. And I'm like, I just couldn't. I feel like that's, and with all due respect, because there's some amazing musicians that I know that do cover bands, and it takes a lot of talent and a lot of ability that
Fuck yeah, dude.
far supersedes anything that I could. I couldn't do all that stuff. I can cover half of this stuff, but
Right.
I just feel like at that point, you've accepted the fact that that's. I don't know. I've always thought of it. If I was going to do a cover band, I was giving up on the idea and doing my own stuff, and that was just what it is. What it is. But as I've gotten older,
You can juggle both stones.
Yeah,
you can.
You
Yeah.
can. But I do. I
If
I,
you
I
want
wouldn't
to,
want to. Yeah, I don't know
you
if I
can
want to,
make
but-
the time. Absolutely. Well, some bands are pretty cool without the booze. I will say that though.
This is
I will
true.
say I saw Clutch and Seven Dust last night, and
I
I'll tell
was
you
supposed
what,
to go. I was supposed to go.
Woo-wee.
I was supposed
Clutch
to go.
was insane, and I didn't need the booze for that because it was a fucking great show, man. They played a lot of old shit. It was awesome. Escape from the Prison Planet. Every time I hear that song, man, because we used to play that song. That was always one of my favorites. It was a good show.
Yeah, that takes me back. Well, that takes me back.
10 years ago.
No, we figured out. I mean, both of them bands, 25
No, yeah.
years.
Easy.
I think Seven Dust might have come out in, 93, 94? I think their first album hit.
No.
I would say
Yeah,
96,
dude.
97.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Their second album hit in 97. Their first album was 94, I'm almost positive.
Yeah, we have the technology.
We do. This is where I get proved wrong on the show.
Or you get proved right.
Well, think about it this way. Deftones and Korn, they were all around 94.
Maybe
95,
96.
right? Yeah,
Seven Dust first
97.
album, 96.
I'm going to say 97.
97.
I said 96.
You-
97.
okay.
I'm going to
So
say
now-
97. So if the price is right, what do we win?
Whatever you want.
Okay,
Okay.
if I'm right, hold on. If I'm right,
well, we're making
John does another
stipulations
shot.
No.
Oh,
Damn.
come on. Oh,
All right, fine.
Oh, come on.
All right, so
I baby
All
sip.
right,
It ain't a
all
shot.
right, don't.
first we need to establish.
We are celebrating episode 49.
is
so
it
it's
like
good.
whoever's closest or
Yeah.
Well, I'm wrong if I'm sticking to my 94 because I realized I'm wrong. It was at least 96.
right now? This is the time. John, what is your answer?
96.
Any want to give a month? Or
October.
October 96.
97. Do I got to give a month?
You
yes.
Fucking A, man. April.
Okay.
Yeah, April. I don't know. That's my-
And Google says
Seven Dust, their first album, released April 15th, 1997.
holy shit, you got the month right too.
Recorded in July of 96.
Oh, so yeah, they probably had a good 7 months, almost 8 months of editing and post production. So wow, you got the month right too. Oh shit! All right, pass.
You
got to
do a shot. Just I got
yeah,
the
pass
month.
it
Good
over,
pull.
dude. Yeah.
We were both
You-
pretty
you got
good.
me.
You're damn close.
Wow, man.
Good pull.
And you know what? They played 3 songs off that first album
Yeah?
from April of 97. Sounded amazing. Just like it did on the record.
Remember
man.
my old band Low End?
I do. I remember the first time I saw you guys play in Lincoln. No, it was in Southgate. You came out with the gas masks on, the whole band.
That wasn't that Lincoln Park, or am I wrong?
No, it was Southgate. It's south of.
Was it?
Yeah, it's down by Eureka
yeah,
Road.
and somebody was putting pepper spray in the fans or some shit too, and they thought it was us because we had the gas mask.
You guys had like 2 fog machines pumping when the show started.
I mean,
when your
that's
set
pretty
started.
damning when you walk out with
I
a gas
know.
mask.
They
and then-
walked
All
out
right,
like
for
one at a
real,
time.
man.
You know, the drummer walked out all single file by himself and walked up, sat down. Then the guitar player picked up the guitar, and then cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers.
And then he walked out, and the music started, and I think it was like a good 20 seconds of music, and then he had to rip the gas mask off in order to sing.
well thought out.
Well, the fucked up part about the whole fucking situation is that somebody was spraying pepper spray in the fans while we were playing, and even
I
after.
don't remember that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
yeah.
But
They had thought that we had something to do with it. So
that was
know.
like 97.
that was a long time ago. Yeah, dude. That was like
A long time ago.
All right, I'm going to throw out a more current topic.
Changing lanes.
Changing lanes.
I
just
like it.
'cause
I like it.
I've been asking everybody
Mm-hmm.
that I know. So right now, well, technically, when this is released, hopefully nobody won the Mega Millions but me. It's close to $2 billion. Cash payout's probably going to be somewhere in the 700 million range. Shits and giggles.
No, not 2 billion.
Yeah.
It's 1.8 billion, right? So that's
Right now, and this is as Sunday.
yeah. Okay, that's true. Okay,
So
by
I'm-
Tuesday.
I'm just
Yeah,
guessing.
okay.
I mean, in
All
our
right.
heads, really, it could just be a gazillion, and it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't really matter.
At this point,
the,
yes.
the numbers are relevant. We just know that
It's irrelevant.
whoever wins has enough money to not. Give
They
a
have
shit
fuck
about
you
what it
money,
is.
yeah, for the rest of their life.
Fuck you, money.
How much money you
forever.
got? I'm worth a gazillion, bajillion. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So like, I could run over that guy, post it on social media, and be out tomorrow.
Right.
It's fine.
Fuck you, money.
Fuck you, money. So my question to you, John,
Uh-huh.
Steve, what would be your first outrageous, I don't give a fuck purchase? Like everyone's gonna be like, well, I get out of debt and buy a house and buy the. No, I mean
Right.
like I'm gonna buy a gold-plated fucking tricycle.
Like I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So I can ride it while I fucking walk my draft. Like, what's your most fucked up? Like I'm just gonna go nuts.
Okay. Earlier, you asked me this. We were
Yes.
talking bullshit when you first got here, and whatever I said, I don't remember, but I've thought about it since.
Okay.
I think my first I don't give a fuck purchase would be I would hire Jeff Goldblum to hang out with me and narrate my day for 24 hours.
Would you also have somebody recording this?
Oh, absolutely.
Documenting
I'd have
this.
him recording it if he wanted to. Yeah, I don't care.
This is
Yes.
amazing.
I don't know why it would just be something weird to
That
do.
would be cool.
Yeah, you know.
That would
I'd
be
just
cool,
like,
but-
how much to get you on a plane, show up at my house, and just hang out for the day with me and my family.
See, this is the
Just talk
ultimate
about
goal,
it.
though, is to. Since you have that much money, you can achieve the ability to get in these parties that all these people are at, and then you befriend them, and then they just want to hang out with you because you're fucking cool as shit, right?
Especially if
That's
you
the
show up with
ultimate
Jeff
goal,
Goldblum.
right?
Like everyone's
mean,
like, "Holy shit, Jeff Goldblum's
like-
here! Who's that guy with the afro?"
I mean, could you imagine you're hanging out with Jeff Goldblum and he thinks you're broke, and he's like, "Oh, drinks on me." You're like, "No, bro, I got this shit."
Right.
Could you
No,
imagine-
he's going to know up
Oh,
front.
oh,
I'm going to tell him,
right.
dude, I just hit the fucking $1 billion Mega Millions. I want you to come hang out with me, right? Up front, he's going to know what I'm about.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. If he wants to take me to some killer parties, I'm not going to turn it down.
That's his choice.
Fuck yeah. Let me
I
in.
think I'd get a Bentley.
That would be your...
That's not really outrageous.
It isn't. I think it's pretty outrageous.
I mean, if you have like $700 million, yeah, you can buy a Bentley.
You could buy like
so you're talking about
about
something ridiculous, just
Ridiculous.
burning your money. Just
Yes.
like,
Yeah, something...
Something
Okay,
when you're
okay,
like, guess what I just
okay,
did?
this
You
is
tell
it.
them, and they're like, why the fuck did you do that?
Okay,
Because I could like
All bullshit
photocopy your
aside,
ass like 10 million times.
What I would do-
hire an airplane to drop that shit from the sky, and people are like, oh, what's this? They pick it up into your ass cheeks.
I think. I mean, if it had to do with something that with money that I would like to do,
That'd be awesome.
that just be throwing it out there. I would like to use money as toilet paper. For one, I think that would be just an experiment or
Okay.
experience. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just something that like,
It's like waffle stomping.
hey man, if you're at that status, dude, you know,
Google it.
How big of a dollar bill would you use to wipe your ass?
How many?
Well, I'd have to use multiple, and I'm a cheapskate, so I'd probably use 20s, and I'd probably rinse them off. But I would just want to say that I'd
I wiped my ass
with some
with
money.
2 20s.
Yes. And I'd also like, I'd like to be like those rappers in videos with stacks of money and throwing it around and shit, Of course, like I said, I'd probably go retrieve it all, pick it up.
He's like, all right, everybody back up. I'm going to pick my shit up.
That's mine.
And
That's
then
mine.
I'm only
yeah,
doing
yeah,
this for the
right.
cameras,
Right,
all
right,
right?
Don't touch anything.
It's my profile pic. Calm down.
What would you do?
Me?
Yeah.
It would be the game of tag.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had this plan since junior high. And depending on the amount of money I would win, depends on how many people get to participate.
Right.
So right now, the average would be 10 groups of 2. And you'd have to be a group of 2 just because it'd be more fun. So I would get these people together, and I would buy each of them a car of their choice. Not so much a Bentley, but, or a Lamborghini. They're like, I want a $800,000 car. Like, well, good for you. You're going to get this fucking...
Then you get the car, but not the trip.
Yeah, you can have a Corvette. You can have a fucking Lincoln, a Cadillac, whatever you want, within reason.
Right.
You're not going to get a one-of-a-kind fucking... Anyway, each car would have a GPS tracker on it. And then one person, however the group decides to decide it, gets picked as it. And they get a tablet with the software for the GPS trackers. Everyone else gets a 3-day head start. You have to stay within the continental United States. And everybody gets $50,000 spending cash.
A cross-country game of tag.
Cross-country game of tag. And
Automobile tag.
Automobile tag.
I love it.
And whenever you're done playing, you just let everyone know, like, hey, we're out.
Dash cams, GoPros,
Whatever you want.
put it on pay-per-view.
Take your car, take the remainder of your cash, have a good time.
That would be a nutty thing to do with that kind of money. But you could do it with $700 million. I mean,
Easily.
shit.
You know what I think would be better though? As far as like, we were talking about this at the shop today. No, or was it yesterday? I can't remember.
Hunting a human
talking about-
being.
Bum, bum, bum. I'd totally do it.
But what good would you do for the people around you though now? So let's go for a whole different angle. Okay, so we were talking about this at the shop, and if I had that much money, I would set up the people that I knew with with something, get them started in something that they could make their own legacy with. You know what I mean? That would be an interesting thing to do.
You'd have to be very selective about where you handed out the money to legacies.
Probably,
because some
someone
people,
just burnt through
ulterior
it.
motives
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whatnot.
right.
Yeah.
But people that around you that are talented for one way, for something or something you think that
Cherish it, promote them.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Give
I
them
would-
the opportunity to build their own.
I'd probably set up college scholarships for all the kids in the family.
Yeah,
that
you know what I
too.
mean?
That'd be-
all the cousins' kids and, anybody related
But
to
this is
me
the thing
or-
is you could do all of these things and still have
Still have fuck you money.
fucking
Yeah, that's the
money.
beauty of
Fuck
fuck
you
you
money.
money.
I mean, shit.
See, one thing I would
I'm gonna
do-
start just trying to act like people are my relatives, just so I feel like I have somebody to give money to. Like, hey man, you look like somebody would be related to me. Here, take this.
I would go like franchises like Subway or Taco Bell or whatever we want and like go through the family and be like, all right, I'm a 10% partner. I'm funding most of the cash, but it's yours. Now you have this.
Right, run it.
Good luck.
Make a life out of it, right.
Now you have something. Get everyone out of debt. Take care of the kids.
I'd open a record store, and it would be a killer record store.
What would you call it?
I don't know yet. And it wouldn't be about profit, so it doesn't matter if it fails.
It's true.
It's just a record store, Like, let's just keep it.
Half the time you're not even open. You got the doors locked. You're
Well, we're
smoking.
open. But
It's
nobody's
open when I
coming
get
in.
there.
Right.
And shop hours, when I arrive. And
Be
then
like
when I
that
wanna leave.
70s show.
Just shoot me a text. I'll be up there in a minute.
I'll
Hey,
meet
you
you
guys
there.
aren't open. Yeah. I'm not.
CDs, records, cassette tapes, 8-tracks, whatever. I'll buy them all, sell them all.
Said you were going to open at 9. Where
That'd
are
be
you?
fun.
I'm standing right behind you eating a burrito. I'm not done yet.
Fuck you money.
Fuck
you know
you
what I'd
money.
do if I won the lotto? I would recreate Rick and Address. Hashtag.
You would
Rick and
recreate.
Address. Yeah, I'd pay him to do it.
You'd be like, okay, I don't think he would like demand a lot of money for it.
I don't know. Didn't really get that much out of him when he was here, but
You could make a music video based around Rick and Address.
Shh, I'd make a movie.
Hold
There you
on. What is Rick in a dress?
Oh, let me Google it because it's very searchable on the internet.
Yeah, if
folks.
you just search hashtag Rick and Address, it'll pop up. You know him.
Let me look at this. Let me look this up myself here.
Clearly, he missed that episode of our show.
Thanks for listening.
It's part of being at the table. You might get harassed for it, but it's all in good fun.
Just
I
go
figured
to
I would.
Google Images, type in Rick in a dress.
Yep. That's all it takes, folks. Hashtag Rick and Address. I'd recreate it. Rick, if you're listening, how much will it take?
Or you can
Maybe
look
I
up-
don't even have to hit the lotto.
Or you can look up the hashtag on Instagram if you're feeling of that way.
while we're viewing pictures of Rick in a dress, I would like to change lanes on you real quick because
Do it.
you mentioned something earlier, Jay, about getting stuck with jury duty.
Yeah.
Again. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's,
Well,
yeah,
it's
yearly
that time
thing.
again.
Right. But I would like to say, for the record, because I've stated on our show before, I've never been to Cedar Point. And, you know, I've gotten a lot of shit over the years for that.
You never been to Cedar Point?
No. You're welcome.
You should get a lot of shit for that.
Right. I've never had jury duty. Knock on wood. But
Oh shit!
Rick in a dress. So you've never had jury duty and you've never been to Cedar Point.
right, I just wanted to bring it up because it was another thing that I haven't had to do before or never have done, you know. And I actually want jury duty. I think it'd be interesting.
Oh.
You know, if it was cool.
If you get picked, it's interesting.
I'm not so geeked about going downtown for it. Like if it was
Waiting
in
in-
Taylor or something,
yeah.
it'd be sweet. But
in
you
the
know.
waiting room for hours, just sitting there.
Yeah, it's not.
I just did jury duty last year. It's not nothing as fun as like I didn't get nothing like cool like a murder fucking mystery. It wasn't like a TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
A 4-month trial.
right.
Media circus. You're like, nope.
Sequestered in a hotel room.
When I got picked, I was like yes, and then I found out what it was about. I'm like,
Oh man, he stole a Snickers. Oh,
I
guilty.
gotta miss work for this. Jesus Christ.
Maybe it's because I've never went. Is
Yeah.
why I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do it, but
You go once and that's gone.
It would
never-
be
I've never
interesting
done
though
it.
if it was an interesting case.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, and I think it'd be kind of
Strangler.
cool. You know, yeah, you know, we got some cool case, but you know, I mean, we are in Wayne County,
It's
Detroit,
true.
so
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot of opportunity for interesting cases, but I just happened to stumble across the most lame case ever. And
it wasn't Kwame's case.
right. You know what I mean? And nothing really.
You can make some money on that job.
There's got to be some good cases to get sucked into as a juror. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see Jury Duty? Pauly Shore. Remember that
100
movie?
years ago.
Peanut loved watching Jeopardy. It's the Peanut Call.
What is he up to? Pauly Shore.
He was just on Rogan's podcast
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. It's actually a really good interview.
Didn't he take over the Comedy Store after his mom passed?
For a while.
For a while.
I don't remember if he's still doing it or not. I've watched a couple episodes since, and Roseanne's was really good. If you haven't watched that one
That
yet,
was interesting.
or
no, I
heard
haven't.
it, watched it, whatever. Yeah.
I don't think Rogan does a bad podcast.
Have you guys seen the new Halloween?
No.
No.
No,
Are
not
you
yet.
going to see the new Halloween?
I'm not going to go to the theater to see it, but eventually I will see it.
You're gonna wait.
Whatever.
Cheap bastards. Just kidding.
It's more so the annoyance of the people
Whatever.
on their phones in the theater or holding conversations.
You know what really bums me out about going to the theater? You can't go in there and get drunk as shit without getting kicked out. I can't. Like,
well,
It's not like at
it
home.
really bums
I
me
can't
out.
pass out on the couch.
I'm
midway
gonna
through the
admit-
movie, these
I'm
assholes.
gonna admit with
Pay $12 for that privilege. Thank you.
Right. I'm gonna admit with the sacrifice of sounding like an alcoholic or something. Last time I went to the theater, and last few times,
you were overserved.
I just bring it with me. You know?
Oh,
I
well,
just don't
shit.
tell them. You know?
Self
I just bring it
overserved.
with me,
All right.
you know?
I may or may not
I
have
fell
stopped
asleep.
at a party store and got
Right.
a couple shot bottles and
Right.
brought it in and
Right.
got like a beverage and
I got
made a
woke up
mixed
by
drink.
the usher nudging me. Me and the girl I was with at the time,
passed out in the movies.
drunk with a mind you a Verner's bottle full. You know, we took a Verner's bottle full of whiskey in.
Oh dear God.
And it had already been drinking down quite a bit. We both were passed out. I was snoring. Okay, like, I snore loud as shit. I don't like to admit it, but for this story, I have to tell you, I snore loud as shit. And I woke up to the usher laughing at me, nudging me. He didn't kick me out. But he nudged
You
me. He's
okay,
laughing.
man?
He's like, "Man, you got to be quiet. You're snoring. You can't sleep in here." He didn't even kick me out for that. I had the alcohol plain as day, right there in the cup holder.
It wasn't his first rodeo.
No, he was just laughing. He was a good sport about it. But
I wonder how much he videotaped of you snoring before
I don't
he
know.
woke you
I-
up.
So
I
if
don't
anyone
know.
wants to
I
link
am
the
loud. I
YouTube
am
video, feel free.
If you're out there.
Where was I at? That new place by the mall. What is it called?
Cinemark.
Cinemark.
Oh, this was recently.
it was pretty
Yeah.
recently.
It's within the last 2
I would
years.
say probably within this year. Okay, the year's
shit.
coming to a close. Yeah, it was within this year.
He's like, it was after summer, but
That's
before
awesome.
winter of
You
this
are
year.
a grown ass man.
Technically,
Yeah, right.
Legally,
By law,
I guess.
by law.
by
you're a
law,
grown-ass
I
man.
am. Yeah,
I'm an adult.
yeah. That's so boring, you know.
Sometimes you just want to pass out.
I mean,
in the
this is
movie
the
theater.
thing is like I have this problem that if something's not that entertaining, I will nod out. And I get this from my dad, I swear, because I remember growing up, we used to go to church, and it was like he would be sitting in the pew, and I look at it, oh my god, it was like his alarm clock was on his chin or something, because every time it would be like he was headbanging, and the pastor would look at my dad like, this motherfucker, you know what I mean? But he can't say nothing because he's preaching, and my dad's looking like he's like headbanging every time his chin hits his chest. He wakes back up. I do that. That's what I do. And if I'm in like the theater or something, I gotta have some.
I do it with beer. I'll feel myself like go to spill it, and I'll wake back up like, oh,
I do
shit.
that too. Yeah.
Damn, that was $8.
But you know,
Hold on.
like when you're at a movie theater, see, I'm the kind of person that you guys would never want to go to the movie theater with me because
Fuck no.
I'll talk through the whole thing. If
the monster's behind the curtain.
Yes. I'm that dude.
Shut up and go
I'm
to sleep.
right. They're like, shut up. It's either I'm really bad because I'm either snoring or I'm fucking talking through the whole damn thing, talking shit. Nobody wants me at a theater, so that's why I'm better off to not be at a theater.
There you go.
That and
So my answer is because people like Steve, I don't like going to the movie theaters.
that's fair enough. Touche. Well, but it can also be a lot of fun for the person who's talking.
Yeah.
In an empty theater where you're not pissing off 200
Hey,
people.
you know
sure.
what?
How many movies have you
Live a
been to
little
where
bit.
you were
If they
the
can't-
only person
Fuck
there?
it if they can't take a joke.
3.
3. I'm at 2. I really enjoyed those.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I've
it
been
was awesome.
I've been to a lot of movies where there was nobody in the theater, but there was a lot of people in there before, and they all left. And I didn't know why, but now you guys are making it clear to me why they left.
I woke up and they were gone, man.
I was snoring. Next thing you know, I woke up, my eyes are open. They were all gone.
I got 4
Usher was
angry
nudging
ushers.
me.
You might want to check like the hashtag for that movie theater.
You know, bring a GoPro.
Probably a bunch
It
of
was in
people
the Cinemark.
videotaped you.
In Taylor,
Snoring.
Michigan, 48180.
You know, titles Teabag Train.
Guys, don't hashtag that.
But you brought up Halloween, which we have to slide into our polls real quick.
Oh,
and
we
get
do.
that
Yep.
because they're
Horror
live.
movies? Horror movies?
Best
Best
horror movie.
We're down to the final 4.
Final
folks.
4. You have listening to this. You have a couple hours left to vote in the final 4.
As of Wednesday of the release of this.
Yes, it's Halloween against Child's Play.
The original Halloween.
The original Halloween
Carpenter's.
against Child's Play, and then you have the original Poltergeist against Nightmare on Elm Street.
Those are very easy.
What are your picks then?
Oh,
Whoa.
very easy.
Whoa. Well, make sure you vote on
See,
Facebook
what you should have done.
and Twitter.
No,
And
what you
Twitter.
should have. Okay, can I slide here? And
First, let's hear your picks. Then you
Yeah,
can,
go ahead.
Then you can
Okay.
elaborate on
Halloween, Child's Play. Who do you got?
it's got to be Halloween.
Okay.
Okay. And what was the other two? It was
Nightmare on Elm Street
Poltergeist or
and Poltergeist.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so you should have put. So I could have
That
told.
old like midget lady didn't freak you out?
I don't know. It's kind of no. I always thought. See, this is the thing: is are you basing them off of how scary they are, or how much you like them?
This
what is
is
your
your
favorite?
opinion.
Right?
Horror
Opinion,
movie.
right.
Horror movie. This is your opinion.
However it fits to you. Out of those choices,
The
however
way-
it fits to
You
you.
really should have put Freddy and Jason up against each other. Friday the 13th and
didn't
No,
work
but
out that way.
just the bracket.
It's all
The
random.
way the bracket, it was all randomized.
oh, was it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So the way I look
And
at
the
these
votes,
brackets,
you know.
is if I'm sitting down watching TV
I didn't think Child's Play would
and
make
both
it
of these
this far.
movies are on the same time, right? They come out at the same time, different channels.
Which one are you gonna watch?
Which one am I going to go, fuck, I'm going to watch this one.
Yeah.
That's the way I base
That's a
mine.
good way of thinking about it. Yeah. And I mean,
If that were the case, I'd pick Child's Play over Halloween, I think.
Really?
Today.
Really?
If I was to
it's
watch
more
them
entertaining,
today.
like
Right.
funny. It's funny and like
Halloween has a cool suspense to it, but Child's Play was, just weird, I guess. I don't know.
well, so you can vote.
I
right?
picked Halloween in the votes
Oh, I
because that's
picked
who I
Halloween,
picked in my
too.
bracket, which I don't even think is good.
So where's the
Oh,
voting?
whatever.
It's on Facebook,
Facebook and Twitter.
and Twitter.
On our Facebook
Yep.
and Twitter.
We have a
Okay.
Patreon page too, which the votes count as double, but
Ooh.
that's $1 a month. You have to subscribe, which
It's
is
only
only $1 a
$1,
month.
I mean,
Right,
yeah.
right. Please, if
What do you do?
you're
I dropped
interested.
$1 in here somewhere.
Thank you. No.
Your vote counts as double.
Look at it
Let's hear
There
it.
you go.
And if it was a 20, it was mine too.
Oh, He might have wiped his ass with
Yeah.
it, though.
I'm gonna need you to clean that before you give it back.
Yeah.
Well, please, listeners, vote in our polls. Facebook and Twitter. Like I said, you have a couple hours left. Wednesday night, the polls end for the Final Four. But then Thursday through Sunday, we got the championship, whichever two it might be.
One more for the road.
All right, let me grab a beer real quick.
What beer are you grabbing?
I'm going to get a... all right, I got to be the one to say it.
You want-
Before you describe it, let me tell what it is, just because of what the situation is.
I think it's fitting.
We went to...
We are a show divided.
Yeah, we are a show divided. We went to North Peak Brewing Company out of Traverse City this week because they developed this line of 2 separate beers earlier this year, and it was a Michigan and a Michigan State beer. And our plan was to get both beers and sample them.
Yep.
We forgot. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life,
We didn't have the time to go pick them up before.
right. And I picked up the Michigan one because they won the game.
Bum, bum, bum.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, I
Hold
chose
on.
a beer because Michigan won the football game. That's how I picked.
So
I'm a Spartan
You
fan.
were a Spartan fan.
I am a Spartan fan, yes. But
Jay.
I didn't expect them to win the game. Jay is a Michigan fan.
I support
Okay,
Michigan Wolverines.
so you guys have to have a little bit of a dispute going on here, right?
Not really. I don't take it too much seriously.
See, I don't ever really get into sports.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I
But-
really wish I did.
Regardless
because-
of the fact,
Yeah.
we chose this beer because of Michigan won the game. So congratulations to the Wolverines for winning the game yesterday and all that good stuff. So I got to say that just because I'm a Spartan fan, I got to chew on it. You know what I mean?
Do you guys play fantasy football?
I
No,
do.
I don't.
You do.
I suck at it, but the beer
The beer itself is Hale.
was strong.
It's Hale, a American Pale Ale, and it has Amarillo, Cascade, Chinook, and Crystal hops. It's hoppy, smooth. It's more of a full beer and a heavier pale ale.
off.
He is cut off. He's making all kinds of racket back there.
He's cut off after this shot.
But we enjoyed it. Thank you, North Peak.
I do want to try the Spartan beer now that they made it, but not today.
Not today, my friend.
Congrats to Michigan.
So how do you guys normally pick a beer?
Usually by the packaging,
Packaging,
the label.
the cap.
Okay, so the rule is it has to be a Michigan beer.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. Do you guys have any kind of beer that you wouldn't drink? You like IPAs?
We drink those.
No.
Did you say, do I like?
We drink those.
We drink
I know
them.
you're a Pabst guy, so
Well, I like the browns and the darks.
Yeah, those are
the
delightful.
IPAs are rough, dude.
Some of them
they
are. Some of them are nice.
After you get a couple down, though,
Yeah, it's
not
all
so
water.
bad.
So another question that I want to continue asking guests is, we have selected some of our favorite beer cans and bottles due to the labeling. We have them on a shelf, and we are just curious, Steve, which one out of
the ones that are out there,
Yep.
there, which one do you think is the coolest looking?
as far as like artwork, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you were going to the store and those
Label.
were your options,
I was picking it based strictly off
the label,
not the
Label.
kind of beer, right?
not the kind of beer
at all.
doesn't
Just
matter,
label.
just based off the label.
Go ahead.
Which one would you pick?
Go ahead, stand up, take a pick real quick. He's going to pick Fontina.
The half. Survey says.
Well, it's between Fontina or the Hef.
I told
Definitely. The Hef is pretty cool.
It's epic.
It's pretty cool. I like Fontina because it's kind of comic booky a little
This is
bit.
true.
You know, has a cool look to it. If I was looking at those labels though, and I was looking at those labels thinking, what beer am I going to drink based off the label? Like, this is what it's going to taste like. The Hef, because it just it's a little more distinguished looking, right?
Nice.
It is. It's classic.
Right? I mean, it's just the name. I mean, come on.
You can't go wrong with a wiener dog. and
Because
a
even if it
smoking
was a
jacket with
bad
pipe.
beer, you're still carrying a beer
It
that
tastes
says
like
the Hef.
banana.
It says the
It tastes like banana
and
bread.
and I love that.
There you
I
go.
love that. I love a Hefeweiss beer,
There you go.
and
Frankenmuth Brewery.
Yep, it's classy.
not bad. So these are all the beers that you've tried. I take it
A sample.
Yeah, that's a small.
Those are the
selection.
coolest labels of the beers we've
Yeah.
tried.
Out of the 49 or 40, 49, that
50
we-
plus.
You should keep a
Yeah.
bottle
Technically, yeah,
though
50
from
plus.
every beer that you drink, right?
We
Well,
tried
had
that.
pictures.
Yeah, we tried that.
Once we got all the pictures of the beers, we got rid of the bottles.
'Cause after a
we
while,
run
that's
out
a-
of shelf.
Yeah, that's a lot of space.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well,
Well, cool. We appreciate you at
Yeah.
least making a pick.
A solid choice.
Yeah, it's probably going to win.
so it's been the ongoing champ, huh? Or
Oh,
what?
yeah, for sure.
It's been on the shelf the longest.
Yep.
We'll put it that way.
Yep.
I don't know. Fun Tina though. She's that's a gal right there.
It was a tasty beer, too.
That's true.
All of them have been tasty beer.
Yeah, but when you get into that like IPAs, they're just so heavy. It's
Some
not,
are hit
you
or
know,
miss.
Yeah,
Rough.
it really is. Tina, she's fun. See, Tina's fun. Fun can be classy sometimes.
It's true.
Fun can be raunchy.
You never
If
know
it's
what
a
kind
beer,
of fun
it
you're
could
gonna
be
have.
bitter.
Yeah.
Could be bitter.
Could be smooth.
Could be smooth.
Before we get out of here, we got to do one thing real quick. We got to give a shout out to the You Watch, I Listen podcast. These guys, Dan and Ralph, are pretty
I
cool.
know those guys are great.
They got a cool thing going on there. If you ever want to check out a cool podcast, it's a sweet concept.
It does.
One guy,
So,
movie.
This guy, Dan, he gives
Music.
Ralph a movie to watch, and Ralph gives Dan an album to listen to. And then each show,
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
They critique it.
That's a pretty
and
cool
they go over
idea,
their experience.
man.
One's a music
Yeah.
guy, one's a movie guy, and they're trying to get the other one in.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
awesome.
great
good.
idea for a
is-
show.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we want to give a shout out to those guys for doing
Highly
what they're
recommend
doing.
checking them out.
Yeah. And they fall under the podcast plug hashtag.
Yep.
Let me say that
Wait,
correctly.
wait, say that again.
Hashtag podcast plug
So
And
if you
it's
go on
a-
Twitter and you search out that
Hashtag
hashtag,
podcast plug.
on Twitter.
it's
Yes.
a very cool group
Yes.
of
Group
podcasts
of
that
podcasts. We all operate
affiliated
together.
with,
Yep.
friends.
Okay. You're all
We got-
affiliated?
Yep. We got some cool
good
shows.
You guys like the
We don't
Cartel?
use the word gang.
Yeah.
The
You know,
A little.
podcast mafia?
You know what?
Listen,
that's a good hashtag right
hashtag
there.
pod-
Yeah.
Podcast
Trademark.
mafia.
Trademark. Yeah, we got
Hey,
that.
hey,
one down,
hey,
too.
hey, hey, I want a percentage.
oh,
Yo, you're in.
You're in on this.
You're in.
10,
Yeah.
15, 20, 25, 20. Let's make a
Hashtag
deal.
Stevie B. You're in there.
Hashtag Stevie B.
But some of the other cool shows are American Slacker,
Yep.
My Worst Date.
Those are funny.
Those chicks got
Yeah.
a pretty cool concept if
Very
you want to check
entertaining.
out some funny shit. Kapowcast and Spice of Life, just to name a few
Yep.
from the group.
There's more out there
There are way more
in
out
our
there.
hub.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to all those guys.
I want to
And
do a
girls.
shout out to my my tattoo shop.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bring it on, man.
Liquid
What do you
Chaos.
got?
You know, I don't know. Come see us.
Why don't you tell them where they should
Oh
go
yeah,
to
it's
see
in
you?
it's Liquid Chaos in Brownstown,
Southeast Michigan,
Southeast Michigan, I
Northern
don't-
Ohio. Make the trek.
It's worth it.
It's worth it
It
for
is.
sure.
If you walk in
Check
and
us
go hashtag Stevie B, you
Uh-huh.
might get a
Yeah.
discount. You don't
Oh
know.
yeah, you can. You can. You can check out some of my my work on Instagram at Steve-O-Matic's Tattoos. Steve-O-Matic Tattoos.
Please do follow along.
Oh, yeah.
Steve-O-Matic
good shit.
Tattoos. Hashtag
And if you want, I'm living proof, man. I got about 20 some tattoos that you've done over the years.
That's true.
Number 3 right there.
Yeah, my third tattoo ever.
4 days later, that one right there, and then it's been all
just built
downhill
from
from there, right? I will
Can
say,
you believe it's been 8 years though?
I can't.
I can't even believe
I
it.
can't. That don't seem right.
Was that 1996?
Yeah, right. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem right.
It's very weird. Very weird.
Well, on that note, we got to say goodnight.
Yes, we do.
This has been episode 49. It's been classic.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Steve, thank you for coming by, sir.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it, man. You have to come back. Tell us some more stories.
God, I hope you edit the shit out of this. Jesus.
I'll put your best foot forward. Don't worry, sir.
Wait, do I got to put my best foot forward? 'Cause
Nope.
it-
No,
don't
no,
give me
no.
that
No,
responsibility.
no, no.
You'll put my
no.
best
You can
foot-
two-step all over the place. we'll figure
You'll
it out.
put my. You know, okay. This is the bad part. Is now that everybody's heard that, they're gonna think, well, this is his best
yeah.
Step here.
Yeah.
What the
God
fuck
damn,
was
that
the
guy
best-
needs help.
Yep.
It's a 10-minute show. That's a wrap. This was a good first show for me to come on.
Uh-huh.
I had
I think
fun.
so.
Although I think we did. See, we need to have a pregame because I don't think we got into the goods until about 30 minutes, 40 minutes into it. We started.
We had to wait for you to warm up, baby.
I know.
Yeah. Oh shit!
See? You're a little too warm.
A little too.
No.
Knocking shit over.
Christ, right. Pregame.
We want to thank all the listeners again for checking back in.
As always.
Please vote in our polls.
All right. Cheers.
One last cheers for the road, folks.
Yes.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Episode 50. It's going to be epic. Stories of New York City.
New York City. I got stories about that next time.
People are so damn weird.